Alright, well we're here on our little unplanned vacation. Hope everybody's doing well. You're washing your hands. Had a few questions about the lessons. So we're talking about 8.5, these solving special systems of equations. So 8.5, starting with page 259, I'm going to go over a couple of problems. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first example gives you x plus y equals 7 and 2x plus 2y equals 6, and you're being asked if there's a point of intersection. We could do it mathematically, but in this case they give you a graph. They want you to graph this, so in order to do that we have to graph these two equations. To graph these two equations we need to change them into a form, slope-intercept form, so that we can graph them. So we'll take the first equation, x plus y equals 7, and I'm going to rewrite it over here. X plus y equals 7. To make it a slope-intercept, I want it to be y equals mx plus b, so we're going to move the x over. I'll subtract the x term from both sides. What's left is y equals negative x plus 7. That can be graphed. Next one is 2x plus 2y equals 6. So 2x plus 2y equals 6. I'll subtract 2x from both sides. What's left is 2y equals negative 2x plus 6. Okay? Now I have to divide this by 2, all of it. So each term is divided by 2. We end up with y equals negative x, okay, plus 3. So what do you notice about those two? Anything? They have the same slope, a negative x slope. So both of them have the same slope. That means that these two lines, if we were to graph them, and again this is not to scale, I'm just going to, okay, so one has an intercept of 7 and a slope of negative x, the other has an intercept of 3 and a slope of negative x. The slope's the same, those two lines will not intersect. So we say that there is no solution. No solution. Okay, again, let's follow this. We have the two equations, x plus y equals 7 and 2x plus 2y equals 6. I converted them both to slope-intercept, so we ended up with y equals negative x plus 7 and y equals negative x plus 3. So these are the two equations we ended up with right here, 1 and 2. We graph them, and you see that they are parallel. They're parallel, the slopes are the same, negative x, which is just negative 1. That's why the lines go up to the left, negative. Those are your two lines. So they don't intersect, there's no solution. Same slope, okay? That's a simple explanation for that. On the graph in your book, they introduced a third line. There's a line that cuts across these two, and they give you the equation of that line, and it's 3x minus y equals 1. So they give you that equation, 3x minus y equals 1. They have it graphed for you, but let me show you what it is. We have to move this 3x over, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. We end up with negative y equals negative 3x plus 1. We know that we can't have that first coefficient, that y cannot be a negative, so we're going to change it to a positive by putting this in parentheses, multiplying by negative 1. We're going to distribute through. We get y equals 3x minus 1. That's what happens when we distribute. Okay? So that line is going to go here through this negative 1, and it cuts across this way. That's listed in your example. And then we do have 2 points of solution. Okay? On your upper line, that solution point is at the point 2, 5. 2, 5. And on the lower line, the solution point is at 1, 2. 1, comma 2. There's two solutions for these three lines. Now remember, they gave you systems with these two equations. We plotted those two. They're parallel, no solution. Then on the graph in your book, they added a third line, and they gave you the equation of 3x minus y equals 1 on page 259, lesson 8.5. If you do this, get it into slope-intercept form, and you see that that's what matches the graph, you have 2 points of solution. Okay? So far so good? Don't panic about this. There's 3 lines, that's all. You're just going to say where the solution is, and the solution is where any of those lines intersect. That's the solution for those 2 equations. Okay, 2 more examples. Problem number 6. They give you 2 equations. 4x minus 6y equals 9. And the other equation is negative 2x plus 3y equals 4. Now, we can graph these. It takes a lot of time. You have to convert them to slope-intercept, draw a graph, do all that. What else have we done? We've used substitution or elimination. Now we're looking at these 2, and I can see pretty quickly that elimination will be the easiest thing to do with these 2. So do we want to eliminate the x, or do we want to eliminate the y? Because either will work. You see, 4 is a multiple of 2, so we can do it that way. We can eliminate the x. Or this way, 3 is a multiple of 6. So either way, I'm going to go with the bottom one. We're going to eliminate the, we're going to multiply this out. So pay attention. So I'm going to take this equation up here, and we'll write it. Negative 2x plus 3y equals 4. And what am I going to do to it to make it this a negative 4? Put the whole thing in parentheses, and we're just going to multiply by 2. When we multiply by 2, remember we distribute every term inside the parentheses must be multiplied by 2. So 2 times negative 2 gives us negative 4. And then 2 times 3 is 6, so plus 6, this is negative 4x plus 6y equals, and 2 times 4 is 8. So negative 4x plus 6y equals 8. So far so good? Okay, so now let's introduce the other equation. This one, we're going to bring it down in here. 4x minus 6y equals 9. Well, negative 4x and a positive 4x result in 0. Positive 6 and negative 6 result in 0. So there's 0 x's plus 0 y's, and 8 and 9, remember we're adding these terms together, we're putting them together, combining like terms. 8 and 9 equals 17. 0 plus 0, does 0 plus 0 equal 17? No, it doesn't. 0 plus 0 does not equal 17. So what do you have here? This is no solution. Okay? No solution. It's not true, so there's no solution. Okay? You with me on that? So think about it for a second. If we converted these to slope-intercept, I'll take it from the beginning here. 4x minus 6y equals 9. If I subtracted 4x from both sides, I get negative 6y equals negative 4x plus 9. Divide everything by negative 6, negative 6, negative 6. I end up with y equals, this is 2/3, 2 over 3x, and then this is going to be plus 3 over 2, negative 3 over 2. Okay, that's the first equation. Second equation, negative 2x plus 3y equals 4. I add 2x to both sides. we end up with 3y equals 2x plus 4 divided by 3, and I get y equals 2 over 3x plus 4 over 3. So it's the same situation as the first example. We've got two lines that have the same slope of 2/3, but they have different y-intercepts, 3 over 2 and 4 over 3. So on a graph, these two lines, okay, end up looking something like this. One's this way, and the other one's this way. They will never intersect, so there is no solution. When you do it mathematically and you get the x's and the y's both canceled out, you have no solution. Okay? You with me? All I did here was just show you that if I made them into slope-intercept and put them on a graph, you'd end up with no solution. The last example I'm going to give you here, and page 261 on the bottom, number 7. You're given these two equations, x plus 2y equals 6, and 2x minus 3y equals 26. Again, we can do substitution or elimination. In this case, elimination would be easier because, in my opinion, you can do either, because I can multiply this top one by -2 to eliminate the x, and then we just have the y's. So let's do it. I'm going to take this equation, I'm going to go -2 times x plus 2y equals 6, close the parentheses. When I distribute, we end up with -2x minus 4y equals -12. Okay? You following me? I'm going to bring this equation in down here. 2x minus 3y equals 26. And we're going to combine them. We're going to add them. So a -2 and a +2 is 0. They cancel. -4 and a -3 is going to be -7y equals, and a -12 and a +26, what do? You subtract, right? So we're going to get 14, right? You subtract the 2. The difference between 26 and 12 is 14, just that absolute value. You go back, the larger absolute value is 26, it's positive, so your answer is positive, okay? Now we're going to divide both sides by -7, and we get that y equals -2, okay? So I'm just going to put that up here, -2, that's y. Now we have to find out what the x is. So we know y is -2, let's find the x. Well, how about this? It's easy. There's only an x by itself, so I'm just going to write it in. I'll do it in a different color for you. Okay? X plus 2, and instead of the letter y, instead of that variable, we figured out that y was -2, so we're going to put in -2. Okay? Equals 6. X plus, well, what's 2 times -2? -4 equals 6. Add 4 to both sides. X equals 6 plus 4 is 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. So our x value is 10. With me so far? Okay, so now we have to see if we're right. Let's see if it works. So I'm just going to erase here to give us a little bit of room. Okay? We'll use the first equation. We'll substitute the 10 for x and -2 for y. So 10 plus 2 times -2 equals 6. Let's see. 10. 2 plus -2 is going to be -4, so -4 equals 6. 10 minus 4, 6 equals 6. It's true for the first equation. Let's try for the second. 2 times 10 minus 3 times -2 equals 26. Well, 2 times 10 is 20. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6 equals 26. 20 plus 6 is 26. 26 equals 26. It's true, so we know that for this system of equations, if we graphed both of these equations on a graph, the place where they would intersect would be at the point 2, negative 2. Okay? That's where they intersect, at 2, negative 2. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. Those of you who are having trouble, it's really confidence. Just have confidence in yourself. You have examples, you have your notes. We've recommended some Khan Academy videos for you to watch. You've got this video, you can watch it as many times as you want. We also have posted some IXL work for you, so make sure you check Google Classroom to see what your assignments are for the next 2 weeks, and email with any questions, and of course give me some comments below. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Know that this is a tough situation for everybody. No need to panic. As I've explained to you in class before, it's just a thing that we have to go through. So use this video to help you out. If you have any questions, email me or comment below. And of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, subscribe. Yeah. See you in a couple weeks.